shall be playing. We shall be defeating the final boss with my expertise. Wait, hold on. No, that's not correct. What? That's not. Yes, this one isn't. Yeah. I have been training. I have trained for years to get here, and now we shall defeat. Wait, where? Is it over here? No. Wait. What? 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 What happened? What? But... What? No, it can't delete the save. No, it can't do this to me. Please don't tell me to delete the save. What? I pressed continued. And look, Blake is here. Why? What? Oh, not the time. Sorry. Please tell me it is still there. And did not. Oh, okay. That was weird. What? What? Oh. What's this? Judging by the sign of Boston Force, we're restoring ready to visit in no time. But it's still not safe to enter just yet. Maybe next time. What? Oh, hello. Wow, I can't believe there was one around here, but where is it? It has to be here somewhere. It just has to be here. I did kill the Bonnie. Yes, I believe I killed the Bonnie. I'm pretty sure I killed the bunny. It was very good. Yes, I killed the bunny. Yeah, I killed the bunny. This is a weird situation I have. Maybe it is a kerfuffle. Oh, wow. That was a weird stuff. Okay, what is going on? It's right. It was. What? Am I going crazy? This is a nice bird. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's at the point. Oh, there it is. What? That's a very weird situation. I'm saying, why can't I move? Why can't I run? I want to run. This is my life. Hello. Popgoes. No. We are not going into this situation up empty hand. Whoa. It is very exciting. I already made a voice for this character, and I am not going through this again. It has been over 2 months, maybe. There's been so long, Popgoes the Weasel. If only you paid attention sooner. Maybe you could have stopped me. Maybe I could have been a part of your crew. This is what I get for being an outcast and weird, cruel dude, I guess. By this, I mean incredible technology, endless powers, stuff like that. I'm sorry. Do you think I would regret any of this? No. Now we fight. Great. You thought it was gonna be like that. You're wrong. Okay. We're gonna jump. That's cool. I'm also going to heal myself. Hook again? Pathetic. That's another hook. Yep. Yeah, I can attack him. Great. That's good. I too am gonna find something. Ooh, defense. Okay, one more and I have to face the pillar. Great. How's this thing not dead? There we go. I'm pretty sure I have, yeah, pizza. But I think a dig option is much better. You see, my thought process is very big brain. We might actually win. Oh, okay. How? How many of these are there? A hook. What is going on? What is this game? No. You're gonna die. I can't face this thing anymore. He's surprisingly an easy boss. I was expecting something harder. Not in that type of way, by the way. But I could have died right then and there. I didn't because of my big brain knowledge. Yeah, I think he's gonna die soon. As soon as I figured. Oh, I need a hook. I don't think you need a hook now. No. I think I'm perfectly fine with not doing this. Okay, I need to take a breather. Not a worry though, I have something that can take over while I rest up. It's a prototype, so be careful. I want it in one piece, you know. After I win, I still plan on finishing it. Great. She's gonna have a, yep. Do I not? Okay, I didn't get one. Okay. I'll dig. Why is it 100 damage? Is he healing up? He's healing up. Yeah, okay. He's gonna be 100%. This is baloney. It keeps going. He's going past 1,000. He's already at the land. Okay. What? Please, thank you. I don't think I could have survived that. I hope that's not how you treat your real friends, Popgoes. And he's just gonna jump, so I'm gonna heal him. That seems to be a fair trade. Yep. I knew he was gonna do a hook. That's no good. You missed how... What? Okay, that wasn't bad. That wasn't that bad. Okay, maybe I misdirected my information when I said that. Come on. Thank you. Critical hit. I believe I gain some health. Oh no. I think it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Okay. Why can't you just jump like a normal person? I do not care if you are a mole. He's a mole, right? Yeah, I believe he's a mole. Yeah, it says it right here. Morse the mole. Okay, while you're doing that, I'm gonna do this. Oh. Ooh. Thank you. Okay, this is below. Okay, he needs one more. He's gonna jump again. Not sure if I will. No, I don't think I'll survive. If he does. Okay, he's gonna do it. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I am gonna need that anyway, so that's fine with me. I believe we are going to be fine soon. How are you not? How are you not dead? How? Okay. I need to gain back my health again. I could risk using a hook, but yeah, sure. It's fine. I think it's time to get a defense. A shield, yeah, shield. Ew, that's not good. I'm lucky that I have a lot of these. Okay, that messed me up a little bit. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Why are you jumping? You don't jump. Not in this house. Is he gonna have a hook? Yep. Well, guess what? I can jump as well. What are you gonna do about it? I think he's gonna pull out and a shield. Trash. We all knew how this was going to end. I honestly just wanted to see what you would do. To witness it firsthand. You took your powers from other people. Whether it was deserved or not, doesn't matter. What matters is that I created mine. I earned them. Everything you see here was made from scratch. So... did it impress you? If things turn out differently, could I have been one of the gang? That's actually sad. Is this the ending of the game? This is the ending of the game. Oh, Popgoes, you did it! You defeated the machinist. I really didn't think that I'd get out of this place alive, but he found me. But how is everyone else? He said he replaced all of them. That can't be true, can it? You're fine? Okay, that's a relief. We should get out of here. It looks like the robots are shutting down. But it feels like this cave could collapse any second. I prefer it upstairs, don't you? And I don't want to see a robot ever again, alright? Especially not one that looks like me. Are you gonna kiss? Thank you again, Pop. Let's go. No, no kissing. Oh. Oh, okay. Does like him. What is the 200? What is 200? How do you get the 200? We have to go back. How is it an alcohol? This was created 7 months ago. Just remember that. Yes, thank you, Steam AH. 100 Machinist. I am supposed to complete the beast area. What other enemies are there? This? Ah, light. Air. What? Weasel. It's you, the Popgoes. You freed me, which is good. But the machinist hated you, which is bad. He put me here a long time ago. He didn't like me. I annoyed him. He hated it when I asked him if he was sure about replacing everyone. He said I was a defect, that I was dangerous, and that I might just betray him. Which is ridiculous. I am a very loyal robot. I would never help the enemy. Anyway, would you like some money, Mr. the Weasel? The machine has built a metal forge into my belly. I can turn dirty scrap metal into shiny silver coins. Isn't that cool? Here, take a look. So I can convert 1 scrap into 10 coins. Come back whenever you want. I promise I won't run away and kill the beast machinist. I mean kill you, your enemy, but I shouldn't be helping. But my power has run out. I have one last thing to give you, and I'll be gone, knowing I've fulfilled my purpose of not betraying the machinist, of course. Okay, I think I know what we're supposed to do with that. The bestiary. Interesting. Where did I get the gold trophy? Bestiary. Yes. What else am I missing? Oh, the gold versions. Okay, no thank you. No thank you. Yeah, no thank you. We have completed the Machinist, us together. It was a team effort. Oh, the gold versions. Okay, no thank you. Megan. How come every time I search up Megan, one of the first things that come up is Megan the Stallion? Wait, why did PewDiePie upload something? That's weird. Why did he upload at 8:40 p.m.? Asmund Gold hates me for this. Sure he does, at Meru. Sure he does. The game theorist. I think we should continue it from where we left off. Sorry. The game theorist, fnaf. Yes, good. Very good. Wow, we are. How did we watch 4 episodes? And how's it 22? What's going on? Why is Kevin Bacon here?
My dad went electric.
Up to 360 miles on a single charge. Introducing the all-electric
Kevin
Hyundai
Bacon,
Ioniq 6 with up to 360-mile range.
No, Kevin Bacon.
We're thinking of every mile.
I hope I did. Oh, Breaking Bad. I haven't watched Breaking Bad.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory. We may not have made FNAF, but I like to think we've at least made it a bit more interesting. So in part 1 of this long-awaited all questions answered FNAF theory, we covered everything from the origins of the shadow animatronics, to the reason for Golden Freddy's ghostly behavior, to proof of what suit the killer uses. We clarified the timeline and even went so far as to dispel the myth that the killer is the one shoving the bodies into the suits. Click here if you missed it to get caught up. Don't worry, I'll wait. This is a pausable video after all. But today we're covering the major questions from the franchise, the final bits of the timeline, the ending of the game, and most importantly of all, the identity of the purple guy. So enough intro, let's cut to the chase. When we left things off, there had been another round of murder done in Fazbear Pizza. Purple Guy had once again used a Golden Bonnie suit to lure in another set of 5 kids and kill them, as depicted in the Save Them minigame from FNAF 2. The place gets closed for investigation a few days later, but the one thing that practically everyone overlooks in this location is that it gets reopened. In FNAF 2, the Night 1 phone call welcomes you to your new summer job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Summer job. And yet, the paycheck at the end of the week reads November. There is not a single place in the world where November is a summer month. Not one. Meaning
Canada.
That these tapes, these tapes, are pre-recorded. And honestly, that shouldn't be a surprise. Phone Guy's calls are recordings in every game. In FNAF 1, before Phone Guy dies, he says he's glad he recorded these messages when he did.
I'm kind of glad that I recorded my messages for you.
And then in FNAF 3, they find the old training tapes the Phone Guy made.
First of all, we found some vintage audio training cassettes. Dude, these are like prehistoric. I think they were like training tape?
In short, all of Phone Guy's messages are
Scott has a
unstuck
very
in time,
big,
not recorded anytime near your
voice
tenure as
range.
security guard. That includes the
But it makes
ones in
sense because
FNAF 2
he's,
talking about children going missing. The
he's been a-
pizzeria isn't being
he's
shut
voice
down
acted
for an
for most
investigation
of
of some
his
missing children the
stuff.
week you happen to be working there. You're listening to old tapes meant for the night security guard from months ago. Need more proof? Night 6's call references a birthday party happening as the last event before the building closes. But what decorations do we see put up throughout the building for the entirety of the week you're working there? Happy birthday banners. Confusing? You betcha. Game changing? Absolutely.
I
This
don't
means
think
that
it's
both
that
Jeremy and
much
Fritz, the characters
game-changing.
you play as throughout
Everyone
FNAF
went
2, aren't
crazy
the
over
killer
the
purple
new,
guy at all.
well,
They were
everyone,
both working
the
in
whole
November
internet
after the yellow suit investigation and the killer getting charged. Which brings
a
us to
crazy
the other key
experience.
point in the timeline,
It
the
was a
bite of
crazy
87.
experience
Ever since we heard about
on the
this
internet.
mysterious
For
frontal
around that
lobe
time.
nibble on that first
Around this
fateful night
time, a
at
few
Freddy's,
days
we
ago.
wanted to know more about this bizarre attack, the one that ends up resulting in animatronics no longer being allowed to walk around during the day. But now, 3 games in, we do know more. We know it took place in the location of FNAF 2 based on the 1987 date on Jeremy's paycheck. And furthermore, the newspaper clipping that ends FNAF 2 gives us a clue that it's the bite which closes this version of the restaurant, not some
What?
serial killing. Quote, after being open a few short weeks, the restaurant is closing its doors, the article says, with the new animatronics being scrapped for possible malfunction. That's game designer Scott Cawthon telling us that one of the new toy animatronics bit someone during the day. Why else would the new
bit
robots be
something,
scrapped while the old
someone.
ones get kept for possible reorganization? Well, outside of an obvious need to retcon why these new robots didn't appear in Five Nights 1, it's because the company considered them safer, relatively speaking. So, then who's the biter? Well, it's none other than the pile of scraps and parts, Mangle. The most obvious
Mangle.
clue is the animatronic's unhinged jaw. The frontal lobe is the biggest part of the human brain, and the size and shape of the other toy robots' mouths just wouldn't be able to handle the size of the human head, especially when you compare it to the Mangle's narrow snout and wide open mouth. There's also Mangle's sharper teeth and potential angle of attack. As shown by its jump scare, Mangle goes for the top of the head. And who got bit? Well, there isn't enough evidence to say definitively, but your most likely candidate would be fan favorite Jeremy Fitzgerald. Jeremy passes the
Jeremy.
test, and on his paycheck at the end of the week, he's welcomed into the family, presumably getting moved to day shift. Fritz gets hired to replace him on day 7, but then promptly gets fired for tampering with the animatronics. That means he's not
Everybody
likely the one to
tampered
get
with
bit,
the
and instead the
animatronics.
person who follows him on day shift is, leaving Jeremy as the most likely frontal lobeless candidate. But regardless of whether it's Jeremy or some other customer we've never met, someone gets bit, the restaurant closes for good, and as the newspaper clippings show, the old animatronics go into storage awaiting a smaller location with a lower budget. Fast forward to the 90s and FNAF 1. We know it's the 90s based on the hourly rate of the paycheck received by Mike Schmidt, security guard extraordinaire from the first game, something we proved in our first Five Nights
Oh,
video.
this makes
And now
sense.
we can breathe a sigh of
think.
relief, because this was the beautiful
it make
time
sense?
long ago,
I don't
last
know.
August, when the games
Maybe it
weren't
makes
so
sense.
complicated, when the biggest mysteries were a game-crashing gold bear and the words "It's me." No death minigames, no puppets, no need to shoehorn in extra overcomplicated storylines. That all would come later when the first game became a smash hit and got itself some sequels. And boy did those sequels make things complicated, as both featured 8-bit minigames revealing more details about this location from the original game. First things first, we know that the
I
purple
don't know
guy
who
kills
this
5
is.
children here. We see it in the Foxy Go 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 minigame from FNAF 2. Foxy runs past a grinning purple guy to see 5 dead bodies. Sorry, no fireworks this time, Foxy. And how do we know it's the FNAF 1 location? Well, it's the only time in the game when Foxy's stage, Pirate Cove, is located to the west of a dining area. See how he performs for the children by running to the right? That matches the map layout of the FNAF 1 pizzeria. We also know from the FNAF 3 minigames that this is where the purple guy dies inside a golden Springlock Bonnie suit in a safe room near the back. One built so that it would never show up on camera, conveniently explaining why it never appeared in the first game. But hold on. Weren't those safe rooms sealed up a long time ago? I mean, we touched on this last episode, but the old recordings of Phone Guy we listened to throughout FNAF 3 say that these rooms are being closed off,
there wasn't any books,
discontinued,
so
and
this
will
makes
never
sense.
be mentioned again. Why would a location 20 years later possess a safe room unless it was the same building as the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location? That's why it's in such disrepair when we see it in the FNAF 3 minigames, boarded up with rats on the floor. It's been closed down for years, which also means the dead kids from the Foxy Go 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 minigame aren't another set of new victims, cause seriously, at this point the killer would have made his way through like a short bus full of pizza-hungry children. No, those kids are the first 5 dead kids, the ones who would eventually possess Old Bonnie, Chica, Freddy Foxy, and Golden Freddy. I mean, look, if the animatronics were possessed at this point, don't you think Foxy would be attacking Purple Guy rather than just running past him to perform for some dead kids? This also explains the random cutscene from FNAF 2 where the puppet's looking into Freddy's eyes. You can tell by the tables in the background and the design of both Bonnie and Chica that this is the FNAF 1 location with the old animatronics on stage. But it's not a flash forward to the game's next location, but rather a flash back to the moment the puppet brought these characters, these children, to life. Okay, but that's just tying together some loose ends in the story. We're interested in how this whole thing ends, and those FNAF 3 minigames give us the conclusion we're looking for. These flashback minigames show Purple Guy dismantling the animatronics from the security of the safe room one by one, but in doing so, he's unwittingly releasing the spirits of his former victims. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Golden Freddy. When their powers combine, they are able to scare Purple Guy into the Golden Bonnie spring-lock suit, which fails, crushes him pretty much to the point of death, though notice we never actually see him die, and the spirits fade away. Golden Bonnie, with Purple Guy inside, now known as Springtrap, rots away in the safe room for years until he's finally uncovered by the founders of Fazbear's Fright from the 3rd game. With the discovery of Springtrap, this haunted house attraction inspired by the years of mystery and murder of the pizzeria chain, finally has their first real animatronic, who then haunts the player for 5 nights and a nightmare night until the place burns down due to faulty wiring. The end. Take a bow. It's finally over. Well, kinda. We're still left with one final, seemingly impossible question to answer. Who is the Purple Guy? After spending, I kid you not, full days plotting out all the details of this game franchise on whiteboards, talking it over with anyone who would stand to listen to me ramble on and on about fictional haunted robots, and just looking at it from every possible angle, all logic points to it being
Oh, that's it? Oh, okay. Let's see. This one. No. Not today. I will not be booted off today. No, I will not be booted off by League of Legends and Coke. That is obviously League of Legends, and no.
Finally has their first real animatronic, who then haunts the player for 5 nights and a nightmare night until the place burns down due to faulty wiring. The end. Take a bow. It's finally over. Well, kinda. We're still left with one final, seemingly impossible question to answer. Who is the Purple Guy? After spending, I kid you not, full days plotting out all the details of this game franchise on whiteboards, talking it over with anyone who would stand to listen to me ramble on and on about fictional haunted robots, and just looking at it from every possible angle, all logic points to it being
Don't phone guy?
The phone guy. And no, not because I made a theory about it and refused to let it die. Honestly, I couldn't care less if that last video was wrong. At this point, I just care about the truth, and phone guy makes the most logical sense.
For right
I know
now,
your
'cause we had
complaints,
no
and
idea
I
what
promise
was
you, if
going
you
on.
stick with me, you'll be convinced. First, there's the circumstantial evidence I presented during my FNAF 2 theory. Phone Guy's admitted love of Foxy being reflected by the smiling purple guy sprite during the Foxy Go 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 minigame. His distrust of the puppet, a creature haunted by his first victim that we see time and time again trying to bring a stop to his killing spree. His admitted role as a security guard, and even the weird phone-like object in his hand from the Save Them minigame. But there's even more evidence when we consider Five Nights 3. Consider this, he's the only person in the game who knows about the safe rooms. As we've mentioned before, all the safe rooms were sealed up back in the Springlock suit days, back in the first Freddy Fazbear's Pizza location, meaning every other employee coming afterward would have never even heard of these things. Phone Guy is the only character we meet who would have any knowledge of these rooms, and more importantly, of how they operate, how they're invisible to the cameras, and more importantly, to the animatronics. And that's just the beginning. He's also the only person who knows how to use the Springlock suits. Again, once they were decommissioned, the suits were hidden away. Regardless of whether you believe that the killer used a golden Bonnie suit the whole time, or you think he used a golden Freddy suit, either way, we know for a fact the killer was using one of the yellow Springlocked suits, and Phone Guy is the only character we know who had knowledge of A, where they were hidden, and B, how they were operated safely. Now, I know a lot of people have said that it couldn't have been Phone Guy because he knew better. He knew that they were dangerous and could kill him, so if he was indeed the purple guy, he wouldn't just hop into a Springtrap suit like we see depicted at the ending of FNAF 3. But there's one key detail that everyone has been overlooking, and that Scott carefully included in this game. Listen. Hear it? There's rain. There are puddles on the ground. It's dripping from the ceiling. The killer had been using these Springlock suits safely for years, but in his panic to escape the ghosts, he failed to notice the wetness of the building around him. The killer had never encountered this problem before because the building had always been in a decent state of repair, but now it's a wreck, torn apart by age. Rain is able to seep in, something he didn't realize when he was in such a hurry to run away from the ghosts. And if moist breath can loosen the locks, you can bet some rain would make those suckers ready to snap shut. And they do, killing our killer. I mean, all of that makes a pretty compelling argument, almost an open and shut case, if there wasn't one final major criticism to the Phone Guy theory since the release of FNAF 3. And it's a good one. The fact that Phone Guy seems to die during his Night 4 phone call from the first game.
Hey, listen, I may not be around to send you a message tomorrow. It's been a bad night here for me.
Life is expensive, so why is Omar snoozing like a baby?
IKEA, don't do this to me. I'm just trying to watch some videos, some YouTube videos. You can't keep doing this to me, IKEA. You can't keep doing this to me. Come on, begging this down. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding it. That is Cardi B with her new I don't know who he is.
Messages for you when I did.
If Phone Guy was the killer, why would the robots still be active after his death and the ghosts disappear? It just wouldn't make sense unless you stop to consider the rest of FNAF 3's endings. The big twist in FNAF 3 is the inclusion of a good and bad ending. By completing the game normally, you get the bad ending, in which we see Purple Guy die in a flashback minigame, and the whole thing ends with 5 masks representing the 5 main animatronics with lights on on behind their eyes. The good ending, meanwhile, requires using some not-so-subtly hidden clues to unlock minigames, then basically ignoring those games, glitching them out, and giving hidden dead kids cake to make them happy, obviously referring to the victims of Purple Guy. Beat the game this time, and the ending is largely the same, but with one fewer animatronic mask and no lights on. The obvious difference here is that in the good ending, the souls of the dead children have been put at peace. When they disappear for good. They don't go back to their animatronic bodies. But the bad ending? The lights on behind the eyes of all 5 masks mean that these guys are still active. Angry, restless spirits still haunting the robots to this day. Because here's the thing. The good ending doesn't exist until you, as the player of the 3rd installment, give cake to those kids during FNAF 3's hidden minigames. What you play in FNAF 1, though, is the aftermath of the bad ending, when the animatronics have killed Phone Guy but are still out for vengeance. Yeah, you made it through those first 5 nights at Freddy's. You overheard the death of the Purple Guy recorded live on the phone, but it wasn't enough. You got the bad ending. Even with the killer crippled in the back room in a spring-lock suit, the lights are still on in these animatronics. They're still roaming the halls, attacking anyone wearing that much-hated security guard outfit. People like Mike Schmidt, an innocent guy just trying to do his job at a failing pizza restaurant. And as the final nail in the coffin, what Phone Guy says in his Night 4 recording perfectly foreshadows what we see in the games.
Maybe sometime you can check inside those suits in the back room. I'm gonna try to hold out until someone checks. Maybe it won't be so bad. Yeah, I always wondered what was in all those empty heads back there.
Think about what Purple Guy does. He hides in a back room, the safe room, hides in a suit, and despite getting sprung-trapped, actually does hold out until someone checks. Holds out long enough for the phone dude to find the hidden safe room, recover the animatronic, and set him free in Fazbear Fright. Exactly what the Phone Guy said he'd do in his final moments. And as Springtrap, he comes back in FNAF 3. Comes back like he always does. And with no real animatronics present at Fazbear's Fright, remember Springtrap is the only real one they've found, with all the rest scattered, probably located in dumps, which is why their bodies and faces are decaying. All that the spirits can do is appear as phantoms, hallucinations. Well, all except one. The puppet, who we see in his physical form roaming the hallways of Fazbear Fright. So real, in fact, that we see his reflection, visible in the pools of water under his feet, meaning he is there and unburnt. There's only one way to truly end this. End the murderous Purple Guy, burning the place to the ground. The puppet gave robots life, gave spirits peace, and finally gave the murderer, the Phone Guy, his long-deserved death. Or at least tried to. And that is the end of the Five Nights at Freddy's story. No hat, no movie, no 4th installment.
What? Oh, no! 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 No!
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what happened? What's wrong?
Look!
Oh no.
But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you enjoyed these theories, show your appreciation by subscribing to the channel. Seriously, I spent more blood, sweat, and tears on these scripts than I have on the entire 4 years of this show. You know, hopefully you liked it, hopefully you're satisfied with the conclusions I reached, and hopefully you decide to subscribe as a result. Wouldn't mind it. Now then, welcome back to the Super Amazing End Card Tournament, where today I just have a simple question. Are you excited about a Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Click over here to say yes, click over here to say no, and oh my gosh, it's Purple Guy, watch out, he's gonna kill you.
I totally forgot to say this, but it is actually a FNAF movie coming
With
out.
CarMax, you get
So this is
pre-qualified
incredible.
in no time at all. So you can see your personalized monthly payment for any of our cars with no impact on your credit score. That's car buying reimagined. CarMax.
I think I'll end the stream a little bit early. Maybe at 9:15.
Sorry, Scott Cawthon. I'm tired of waiting for you. This time you'll have to keep up with me. Oh, never mind. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, where instead of waiting for FNAF 4 to be released, this time we're getting out ahead of the game. Or at least that was the plan. Scott, I swear you are the biggest internet troll out there. Oh, it's being released October 31st. Okay, let me plan my entire schedule around that. Never mind, it's now in August. Okay, fine, let me rework everything. Lols, here's the full version now. You, Scott Cawthon, are the reason I have an emotional dependence on Diet Coke. But today I'll be sipping that sweet, sweet Diet Coke in sweet victory. Because guess what? I win! Scott, in your rush to get the game out, to get out ahead of my theories and completely flim-flam the internet and shock everyone by releasing the game 3 months early, you missed a huge detail. Maybe before releasing the game, you should have spent a bit more time researching, because this game, as you've presented it, is impossible. Let me explain. Basically, it's all but confirmed at this point that in FNAF 4 you play as the victim of the bite of 87, and that this game is either his nightmare or what he's seeing in a coma as he recovers from his injuries. Let me run you through the evidence real quick so that we're all on the same page. First, in the months leading up to the release of the game, there were clues hidden in the source code for some of the teasers on Scott's website, with the numbers 8787 repeated over and over again. Two numbers that anyone who hasn't been living under a rock will recognize as a key date in the franchise's lore, the bite of 87. This is further supported by the text on the teaser images. All of the pictures released on the site basically ask the same question: was it me? Which seems to refer to the actual attacker of the bite itself. But there was one more word we saw repeated throughout the teasers: nightmare. Hidden over top of multiple teaser images was that exact word. That, combined with the Freddy Krueger-ish design of the animatronics, with teeth and claws everywhere, something far different from how we've seen these things designed in the past, seemed to indicate that this would be the way a child would imagine these creatures if he had had a traumatic experience with them, making it seem like what we would be playing would be a dream. Couple that with some evidence from the trailer. The first words are, "What is it you think you see?" making us question the reality of the images in the game. But there was also something that everyone seemed to overlook about this trailer: the appearance of the number 4. Scott doesn't do things randomly.
I like this music.
As I'm sure we're all aware by now. And notice the movement of the 4. It starts off in a horizontal plane, like it was laying down on something, say a bed, but then wakes up to stand vertically before the trailer ends. Even that remnant red rectangle is meant to symbolize the bed. Everything seems to be letting us know that what we're seeing isn't really real, it's a dream, or better yet, a nightmare. Now, fast forward to the game's release, or I suppose casually meander to the game's release, since it wasn't too long afterwards, and we see that this theory still holds. Flowers, an IV, and pills will occasionally show up next to your bed. Classical medical supplies that show us that this is a child in recovery. Foxy, who's hiding in a closet, will transform back to a plush toy if you hold the door closed on him long enough, making it seem like this was all a dream or hallucination. And of course, the biggest piece of evidence of all, the cutscene that ends Night 5, which, if you don't want a spoiler, click here to skip. All of you skipped now? Good. Actually shows the bite of 87 take place in the mouth of the golden Fredbear. This is further supported by the quote-unquote boss of the game being that same golden Fredbear, where in the final nights, he's the one who ends up stalking you. All the other animatronics disappear. You're being haunted by the suit that bit you. So yeah, that's it. All the evidence points to the victim of 87 being our protagonist, the character we're playing as in FNAF 4. Good job, Scott. You finally put together a game with a coherent plotline. Except you didn't. Scott Cawthon, if all of us are right in our theory, then you, sir, are wrong. Just when it looked like you were making a game that actually adhered to its own lore, you also made a game that is completely impossible from a scientific perspective. Loyal theorists, it's time we give Scott's latest bag of tricks a little lesson in real-life science. While frontal lobe injuries aren't as uncommon as people think, actually they happen all the time in car accidents, playing football, falling down, etc., having your whole frontal lobe bitten off has a much more profound impact on mental and physical functions. It would come with a whole slew of symptoms from motor skill impairment to nervous system issues, but the side effects we're most concerned with today would all be psychological. Removal of the frontal lobe significantly impacts the victim's ability to process certain types of stimuli, specifically fear stimuli. Let me give you some backstory. In the good old 1940s and 50s, psychiatrists often thought the best way to cure problems with the brain were to cut pieces out.
6 more minutes.
Feeling depressed? Well, let's slice that out. Overly aggressive?
I guess
that
after
chunk
this,
probably wasn't important. As such,
maybe.
there are extremely well-documented studies of patients without frontal lobes, and what's fascinating about them was what happened to their fear response. Patients without a frontal
Yeah, I
lobe
guess
become
after this one.
uninhibited because they no longer
maybe I was
have a fear
incorrect about
response. Way
my,
back in my Fallout episode, we looked in depth at the most famous accidental lobotomy in history, Phineas Gage, who literally had an iron rod shot straight through his head, completely destroying his left frontal lobe. One of the most striking differences between pre-pole Phineas and post-pole Phineas was his sense of inhibition. And by that I mean post-pole Phineas had none. He had no sense of caution, no sense of fear or self-consciousness. He was described to be impulsive to the point of being rude and vulgar in public. No fear, no anxiety, no social pressure anywhere. Going back to the game, one of the things Scott does a great job of throughout the FNAF franchise is putting you in the eyes of Mike or Jeremy or whoever. We feel invested in our
we're the
protagonist because
music
we
choice,
are
but
that
okay.
character. But in this case, that's scientifically impossible, specifically because of the bite of 87. If the main character of this game truly is little Timmy Lost a Lobe, he wouldn't wander around a house clicking a flashlight on and off. Why would he? He doesn't care, because tragically, he no longer has the capacity to care. His brain structure no longer allows it. As if this weren't enough, a frontal lobe injury also tampers with concentration and attention span. The main character in the game is still supposed to be concentrated over a long period of multiple hours. But the thing is, patients without frontal lobes don't have this ability. In fact, they can only stay focused on what they see immediately happening in front of them. A child missing a frontal lobe who repeatedly turned a flashlight on and off in a hallway without seeing anything would lose interest. They wouldn't have the mental wiring necessary to concentrate on self-preservation. They would literally just go back to bed. The game is impossible the way it's being presented, because it would literally be over before it began. But the final and biggest nail in the coffin for this one is how frontal lobe injuries affect the imagination. The frontal lobe controls a ton of mental processing abilities, including dreams. You might think that an uncontrollable imagination would lead to exactly the kind of nightmares or hallucinations you see in this game, but in fact, it's the exact opposite. Rigorous studies have been done on the imaginations and dream states of lobotomized patients. While patients without a frontal lobe can have dreams, one thing they can't have is nightmares. Patients missing a frontal lobe carry their lack of fear and inhibition straight into their dreams. And why not? It makes sense. If the mind isn't registering fear consciously, there's no reason to process it subconsciously in a dream. Studies show that lobotomized patients can dream about idyllic scenarios, money, fame, praise, but they can't dream about the monsters under the bed, or in this case, the Foxy in the closet, making the nightmare state of FNAF 4 impossible for the victim of the bite of 87. In fact, going back to the dark days of psychiatry, some patients who experience the kind of recurring nightmare we see in FNAF 4 actually had their frontal lobes intentionally removed to stop these dreams from happening. One famous case describes a patient who was experiencing a recurring dream of being chased by ferocious animals. After the patient received the lobotomy in 1953, yes, he still had the dream, but would instead describe it as being a nice dream with some nice animals. His visions in the dream were no longer threatening. The animals were happy, he was happy, and he was no longer able to perceive any of the fear he once had prior to the surgery. So scientifically speaking, there is no single way the main character of FNAF 4 can be the Bite of 87 victim like Scott seems to have indicated. Sure, the game could be about another kid, I guess, but that would be lame. No, this game is meant to be about the victim of the Bite of 87. The poor kid who wasn't just attacked at the restaurant, but continues to be tortured through nightmarish visions, dreams, coma-induced hallucinations, whatever. I have zero doubt that that's what Scott intended, but the fact of the matter is, he just didn't do enough homework. A kid with those sorts of injuries wouldn't care about those things in the first place. He would have no fear, and there would be no animatronics, real or imaginary, that would be able to keep him up at night. Biologically speaking, nothing he would be experiencing would be any scarier than the fan. The fan. Sorry, Scott. Better luck in the movie. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. So that's the science of FNAF 4, but I'm working on picking apart the lore now. It'll take a few weeks, so make sure you subscribe to get notified of when that comes out. And to help you wait, click here to check out my all-new theory on how the characters in Dragon Ball Z pull off their famous Kamehameha waves. The science behind it all is actually incredibly cool. I mean, who hasn't wanted the ability to shoot energy beams out of their hands, right? So anyway, click there to check it out, or if you're in the mood for more FNAF goodness, binge watch some more creepy
No, I think I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, that's gonna be it for me today, because I am very tired for some reason. So yes, good night. I hope you have a very special day whenever it comes, or whoever you are out there. Yeah. Good night.